Championship, the Big Ten Championship, the NFC playoffs, and the Daytona 500. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports! Opening weekend. It's a time for new beginnings. A time when, wait till next year, is finally here. This year, when the hopes and expectations of the spring give way to the shouts of, play ball. The grass is a bit greener on opening day because an indescribable excitement fills the air with a promise that absolutely anything can happen on the baseball diamond.
The excitement is here. That ball is going, and out of here. Henry Aaron has just tied Babe Ruth. Look at the play by Marley. Mercy! Welcome to the show! It's
not only the official start of the season, it marks the end of all the waiting and anticipation. For them, the players,
The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day. The Phillies have a 5-4 walk-off win on opening day.
for us, the fans. And in the end, there's always one goal in mind.
The Giants are world champions.
Opening weekend, right now, on Fox.
Welcome to the Budweiser pregame show on Fox. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. We are in Southern California for opening weekend of the baseball season. Another picturesque day in Chavez Ravine as defending champs take on their arch rival, the Los Angeles Dodgers. A rough start for reigning Rookie of the Year Buster Posey and the Giants, whose shoddy defense has them in danger of their first 0-3 start in 27 years. Meanwhile, it's been the power and aggressive base running of Matt Kemp that has the Dodgers to a 2-0 start. And with that, hi everybody, we welcome you to the jump start of the 16th season of Fox Saturday Baseball, and what a start to the year it has been. Already, we've seen walk-off wins in Philly, in Cincinnati, and in Kansas City. Will there be late-inning dramatics out in New York? Well, in just a few minutes, most of you are going to find out as you see the Tigers take on the Yankees. It was an off-season to forget for Miguel Cabrera. But between the lines, last season's AL MVP runner-up is one of the best around. Meanwhile, the Yankee captain Derek Jeter starts the day just 74 knocks shy of 3,000 for his career. The rest of you will see one of last year's surprise teams, San Diego and Ryan Ludwig. They'll face injury-plagued St. Louis. Already without ace Adam Wainwright for the year. Now Albert Pujols' protection Matt Holliday's out indefinitely following an appendectomy yesterday. Well, a busy opening Saturday around the bigs. You've got 5 early games, all trying to beat the weather in the Northeast and the Midwest. But let's start our highlight rip up north of the border in the friendly confines of a dome in Toronto, The Twins and the Jays, the newly acquired Jason Nix, picked up in a trade last week from Cleveland, his first of the year. But the story was the son of Doug Drabek, Kyle Drabek. A no-no through 5 2/3 till Denard Span broke it up. Still, the Jays win it 6-1. White Sox scored 15 in winning the opener in Cleveland yesterday. Back at it again today. Gordon Beckham, 3 hits yesterday, 2 more today, including a 2-run single. They win it 8-3. Out in Kansas City, Torrey Hunter went deep on opening day Thursday, and another deep shot, his second of the year, nearly visiting the fountains out there. But the Royals put 2 on the board in the 8th. Chris Getz gets it done. Scores Jared Dyson, 5-4, your final, the Royals win it. Out in our nation's capital, Rick Ankiel against his former squad, the Atlanta Braves, turning on one. A 2-run shot, his first of the year. They were delayed by rain, but they're back in it. It is 4-1. The Cubs, they put a 5 spot on the board in the 8th and avoid an 0-2 start as they beat Pittsburgh 5-3, the final. Now, once again, we've got scores and highlights all day long right here on Fox, so if you want to know what's going on in the world of baseball, keep it tuned right here. And then, of course, we've got games coming your way. One of 3 of them this afternoon. Of course, the last time we saw the Giants here on Fox, they were celebrating their first World Championship since '54. They just like to get a win today against the red-hot L.A. Dodgers. Most of you will see the Tigers try and tame A-Rod, Jeter, and the rest of the Yankees. The rest get the Padres against King Albert and the Cards. First pitch is next on Fox.
Welcome you to the 16th season of Fox Saturday Baseball from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. It's the third of a four-game weekend series between the defending World Series champions, the San Francisco Giants, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good afternoon, everybody. Kenny Albert along with Eric Karros. Great to be with you once again this season as the Giants begin the defense of their first world title since 1954, but they've lost their first two games here in Los Angeles against their longtime rivals, the Dodgers. And today, Eric, San Francisco will send one of their postseason heroes, Matt Cain, to the mound to try and stop the bleeding.
Well, there's no surprise. Pitching is the anchor of this Giant ball club. And remember what they did last year as they roared through the postseason. Well, Matt Cain, he was dominant in the postseason. 21 and a third scoreless innings, only one unearned run. He gets the ball today. They've had two losses, but the starting pitching has been good. And don't make any mistake, Matt Cain is the third pitcher in this rotation, but he could be the number one for a lot of teams.
A pair of one-run wins for the Dodgers, 2-1 on Thursday, 4-3 here last night. Matt Kemp, a big reason why.
Well, Matt Kemp had a great 2009 Silver Slugger Award winner, Gold Glove Award winner. Last year, a bit of a hiccup. Now, it's not the physical tools, it's the attention to detail, the hustle. Well, in the first two games, he's been patient at the plate. He's been going first to third. If he plays like that all year, the Dodgers have a chance.
It's the MLB on Fox here in 2011. 5 months ago, the Giants finally brought a trophy home to San Francisco. This weekend in Southern California, they open their defense of that crowd against their oldest and nastiest rival. Giants, Dodgers next on Fox. On a 67-degree afternoon in Los Angeles as we get set for the Dodgers and the Giants. Dodgers have won the first 2 games of this series. The Giants batting order is brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. The shortstop Miguel Tejada leads off, followed by second baseman Freddie Sanchez. Right fielder Aubrey Huff hits third. Catcher Buster Posey in the cleanup spot. Then left fielder Pat Burrell. The rookie first baseman Brandon Belt. Bottom of the order, third baseman Mark DeRosa. Center fielder Aaron Rowand. And the pitcher Matt Cain as the Giants get set to face 35-year-old left-hander Ted Lilly.
Well, a free agent signed in the offseason. Dodgers brought him back, a 3-year deal. You know, for him to be successful against this giant ball club, he's got to keep it in the park. In a couple starts last year, he gave up 4 home runs. Something else to watch very closely. Watch the movement on the rubber.
Lilly in his 13th Major League season. 10-12 last year. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. So we are set to go at the Dodger Stadium as Miguel Tejada steps in. Tejada 1 for 8 over the first 2 games of this series. And the first pitch from Lilly, catching the outside corner for strike 1. Tejada, Sanchez, and Huff for the Giants here in the top of the first. The 0-1 from Lilly, fastball missing away. 1-1.
Well, again, as I mentioned, Ted Lilly has to keep the ball in the park. Now, remember, the Giants have scored all 4 of their runs in this series as the result of home runs. When I say keep moving, move it around the plate and watch Ted Lilly as he moves from corner to corner on the rubber.
Tejada thrown out, low throw by the third baseman Aaron Miles, but Tejada is retired. Dodgers defensive alignment brought to you by Scott's in the outfield from left to right. Paul Campaneath here. Loney at first, De Jesus at second, Carroll at short, Miles at third, and Hector Jimenez behind the plate.
Well, a couple of guys with the opportunity to get their first major league hits today on that Los Angeles Dodger ball club. Jimenez and De Jesus.
2 youngsters in the starting lineup today. Here's Freddie Sanchez, the Giants' second baseman. And he takes strike 1. Sanchez signed a 1-year contract extension yesterday. Grew up in the Los Angeles area. Won the National League batting title with Pittsburgh back in 2006. Sanchez with a hit in each of the first 2 games in this series. And he skies this one into shallow left center. Under it to make the catch is Paul for out number 2. The umpires this afternoon, Fieldin Culbreth is behind the plate. Adrian Johnson at first base. The crew chief Gary Cedarstrom at second. And Lance Barksdale is at third. Lilly has thrown 5 pitches. He has retired the first 2 Giants in the order, Tejada and Sanchez. Here's the right fielder, Aubrey Huff, and he takes a first pitch strike. Huff moved to the outfield by manager Bruce Bochy as the rookie sensation Brandon Belt made the club out of spring training. Hit his first major league home run here last night as Huff falls behind 0-2.
One of the things that makes Huff special is his ability to play a number of positions. Did that last year with the Giants, and really the main cog in getting them to the postseason.
Ball 1, says third base umpire Lance Barksdale.
See, this is an off-speed pitch, and you see Aubrey Huff committing with the body, but able to hold his hands just back. Got to be awfully strong to be able to do that.
The 1-2 from Lilly. Left field. Moving to his right, Paul. So Ted Lilly retires the Giants on 9 pitches in the top of the first inning. Inning. Now the Dodgers will come to bat. Their batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. The third baseman, Aaron Miles, leads off, followed by the rookie second baseman, DeJesus. Right fielder, Andre Ethier, hits third. Then Matt Kemp, the center fielder, in the cleanup spot, followed by first baseman James Loney. Then the catcher, Hector Jimenez. Left fielder, Xavier Paul. The shortstop today, Jamie Carroll. And the pitcher, Lilly, will bat ninth as the Dodgers face 26-year-old right-hander Matt Cain. 13-11 last year. Came on strong down the stretch, winning 7 of his last 8 decisions, and then terrific in the postseason where he did not allow an earned run.
Well, and that's how he's got to treat today. Pretend it's the postseason. Just continue to dominate with all 4 pitches. One thing he has to be careful with, though, the left-handed hitters. That's what Don Mattingly, he stacked his lineup with left-handed hitters. He's had trouble with James Loney and Andre Ethier.
He will face Aaron Miles, the switch hitter, leading off for the Dodgers. And the fastball is in for a called strike. 0-1. Miles starting today for the former Giant, Juan Uribe, who suffered a bruised left elbow in the opener when he was hit by a Tim Lincecum pitch, as Miles quickly falls behind 0-2.
We talked to Juan before the game. There he is. Said it was, it's his left elbow, and he just said it gives him a little bit of trouble when he's trying to extend. So he is available today and hopes to be in the lineup tomorrow.
The 0-2, and Cain missing low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the season opener on Thursday as Uribe was hit by his ex-teammate Lincecum.
And it's really just tightened up, and as I said, gives him a little trouble trying to extend, so another day is not going to hurt.
Line drive right back to the pitcher, Cain, so Miles is retired. Defensively for the Giants, Spurl in left, Rowan in center, and Huff in right. Around the infield, Belt, Sanchez, Tejada, and DeRosa. Posey behind the plate. The Giants' defensive alignment brought to you by Scott's. So with 1 away, here is the 23-year-old second baseman, Ivan DeJesus, son of the former Dodger and Giant. His dad spent his first 3 seasons here in Los Angeles. Played 9 games with the Giants a month after his son was born, back in 1987.
Well, how about that? The first hitter Matt Cain faces, and that'll get the adrenaline going if it isn't already. Matt makes a nice play.
Now facing DeJesus, who went 0 for 3 in his major league debut last night. His dad now the third base coach, Eric, for the Chicago Cubs. After a 15-year major league career. Ivan Jr., a second-round pick by the Dodgers in 2005, looking for his first major league hit.
Yeah, excellent defensive second baseman. Doesn't have a lot of speed. Put the ball in play, but a very fundamental player.
Fouled off to the left side. The new manager of the Dodgers, Don Mattingly, off to a 2-0 start.
Having a chance to speak with him the last 2 days. I'm very confident. He's created a wonderful environment here.
Spent the last 3 years on Joe Torre's staff with the Dodgers.
And he said he thinks that's something that is going to help him. Hitting coach, bench coach. He spent a lot of time with these guys down in the batting cages, getting to know these guys outside of baseball, and that should help him.
Count remains 2-2 on DeJesus, and a couple of the youngsters played for Don in the Arizona Fall League late last year.
Well, a very no-nonsense guy. Tells you exactly what he feels, what he's doing. Communication is probably his greatest strength. I know as a former player, that's something that you appreciate. You may not like to hear
some things, but at least you hear them.
Full count with Andre Ethier waiting on deck. And there's Bruce Bochy in the Giants dugout.
Now, what a wonderful job he did last year. I mean, he was as good a manager as anyone I've ever seen for a 2-month period.
Bounce to the third baseman, DeRosa. So an 8-pitch at bat, and Jesus is retired.
There's Boch again. A player's manager remembers what it's like to play the game. But as I mentioned, September, October last year, I mean, everything he did was right. I mean, he had the pulse of that Giant ball club, put guys in the right situation. And what a wonderful job he did.
Now, when you look at the key roster moves the Giants made throughout last season, as Ethier takes ball one, it makes what they accomplished even more impressive.
Well, and he was able to keep that clubhouse, in harmony. There wasn't any dissension. Guys weren't worried about playing time. A lot of that comes from the manager and how he deals with the guys, how he communicates with the players. He was saying that this offseason went awful quick for him just because all the things that he had going on as a result of being a world champion.
The offseason becomes a lot shorter when you play through the entire month of October. 1-2 on Ethier with 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. There's Buster Posey behind the plate. He will lead off for the Giants in the second. Last year's National League Rookie of the Year. The 1-2 from Kane. On the ground to the second baseman Sanchez. So Ethier is retired. Dodgers down in order. Buster Posey will lead off for the defending world champion San Francisco Giants when we return. By Budweiser is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And by Scotch, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose back with you from Dodger Stadium. We move to the second inning. Buster Posey, Pat Burrell, and Brandon Belt for the Giants. They're in the second against Ted Lilly. Here's Posey, 24 years of age. Did not make his Major League debut until May 29th last season. Wound up as the National League Rookie of the Year. Became the youngest catcher to hit a World Series home run since Johnny Bench 40 years earlier. Did that on Halloween night.
I mean, what do you do for an encore? How do you make your season better? You know, your first year, you come up, you dominate, make the game look easy, you win a World Series. You're great on the field, you're great off the field. Man, I'd love to have his future.
1-2 on Posey. 3 for 5 with 2 home runs last year against Ted Lilly. On one hop to Jesus, over to Loney. Posey is retired. One away here in the Giants' second. Eric, how about our Ford keys to today's game?
Well, for the San Francisco Giants, especially after these first 2 games, you've got to slow it down. And they've rushed some plays, got themselves into trouble defensively. Remember, you're the world champs. I mean, you don't have to make things happen. Just go out, play your game. The Dodgers, they need to continue to be aggressive. Force the Giants to have to make plays. The team approach means offensively, go up there with a plan. Not individually, but as a team, attack Matt Cain or Tim Lincecum or Sanchez, whoever you're facing.
Lincecum the starter in game 1, Sanchez in game 2. Dodgers have gone with Kershaw, Billingsley, and now Lilly in game 3. Pat Burrell 1 for 7 in the series. Took Jonathan Broxton deep for the Giants' only run in game 1. The 2-0 from Lilly, and Burrell fouls it off to the right side. Burrell just 1 for 11 lifetime against Ted Lilly. Won his second world championship in the last 3 years.
Charmed life right there, and a big part of the Giants getting to that postseason. Coming over in the middle of May after being released from Tampa Bay.
Now 2-2. Burrell won in 2008 with the Phillies, and last fall with his hometown Giants.
Well, and ironic too, because it really came down to 2 teams: the San Diego Padres or the Giants. The Padres passed on him, and he goes to the Giants, and that was the difference.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
This is a curveball, just freezes Pat on the outer part of the plate. You see he gets the weight out on the front foot, can't pull the trigger, just hopes that home plate umpire Fielding Colbreth calls it a ball, but a good part of the plate right there. Nice pitch.
So with 2 away, here is Brandon Belt. If you haven't heard the name yet, you will be hearing a lot of Brandon Belt over the next decade plus. 4th inning last night. His first major league home run off Chad Billingsley. It gave the Giants a 3-1 lead.
Heck, he's got a lot to live up to, just the name. I mean, Brandon Belt as a hitter, a big power hitter.
Belted one out last night.
Yes, he did.
He said it felt like a dream. The security guard out in center field tossed the baseball up into the stands, and fortunately for Brandon, the Giants were able to retrieve it. In fact, before he even knew the story, he said, I hope the security guard didn't throw it in the trash.
I have a feeling that ball, I mean, it's important today and maybe tomorrow, but that thing will end up in a shoebox somewhere, in a closet. You'll have a lot more milestones, memorabilia to collect. I'll tell you, this guy can swing the bat.
You have your first home run ball?
I do.
In the closet? In a shoebox?
In a shoebox, closet, yeah.
You know which closet? Belt called out on strikes. Second consecutive strikeout for Lilly, who has retired 6 Giants on a total of just 22 pitches. Is presented by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Bottom of the second inning here in Los Angeles. No base runners on either side as of yet. Middle of the order for the Dodgers here in the second. Matt Kemp, James Loney, and Hector Jimenez. Kane retired the Dodgers in order on 16 pitches in the first, as Kemp fouls off the first pitch he sees from Kane. 0-1. We talked about Kemp in the open. Terrific over the first 2 games. Hit a career-high 28 home runs a year ago, but the average below 250. And he's done a lot of work with Davey Lopes, who's back in the Dodger organization. Kemp says, I think I can steal 40 this year.
Well, I think that, what he went through last year on and off the field, when he got away after the season ended, he reflected. And he's taken some ownership of what went on last year, as he rightly should. And he's figured, what do I need to do to get better? How can I improve? And he's taken upon himself. He's lost some weight. He's shown up. He's a lot more mature, at least, this early on. Davey Lopes over at first base, brought over to coach and mentor Matt Kemp. Really, it's not the physical tools, because we know that the physical tools are there. But it's the way he plays the game, the approach. Is he thinking? Is he patient? And again, it's only a 2-game sample, but the Dodgers have seen that in these first 2 ball games.
Kemp 3 for 5 in the series. He scored 3 runs. 1-2, and he sends this one into the gap in left center. Kemp heading for second, and he is in with a stand-up double, the first hit of today's game.
Well, he gets a little cutter out over the plate, and he drives this thing. Again, the thing that's most impressive, you're watching him out of the box here. He's running hard. It's not just, I'm going to coast into second base. I think that's what Dodger brass will look at. And while they like him driving the ball to the alley, what's more impressive, out of the gate, he's busting his tail.
So the leadoff man on at second for the Dodgers here in the second inning. Kemp has now reached base, Eric, in 7 of his 9 plate appearances in this series. Walked 3 times on Thursday. It's his 4th base hit. First pitch to Loney, fastball in for strike 1. And one more thing on Kemp. Don Mattingly told us how impressed he was that Don let Kemp know that he was going to be in town in Los Angeles for a couple of days in the offseason, and Kemp immediately flew in from out of town on his own to meet with his new skipper.
Well, I think that's where you're talking about the maturation process and growing up and taking some ownership and taking some responsibility. Look, Matt Kemp has the world in front of him. It's just, what does he want to do to reach his goals? And right now, the Dodgers, have to be happy with what he's done in spring training and the way he's approached these few games.
The 0-2 to Loney. Kemp in at third as Loney is thrown out by Tejada. So on a ground ball to the left side, Kemp advances as we head downstairs and check in with Chris Rose. Chris?
Hey, guys, something to keep your eye on this afternoon, the jump that the outfielders are getting on batted balls. Aaron Ronan told me right after the first inning that they can't see anything because of the overcast day and all the white shirts that are out there in the crowd. In fact, on the Aaron Miles liner back to the mound, they said they heard, but they didn't see the ball. I told them, good thing Matt Cain did. So that's something to keep your eye on, guys.
Yes, fortunately for the Giants, it did wind up in the glove of Cain. So with Kemp now at third, here is the rookie catcher Hector Jimenez, who spent last year in Altoona, Pennsylvania with the AA affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was named the team's most valuable player. Jimenez played in 2 games with the Houston Astros back in 2006 out of Venezuela, looking for his first major league hit. Infield in, with one out. Rod Barajas, who started the first 2 games behind the plate for the Dodgers, given the day off today. Jimenez pinch hit in last night's game and reached on an error. Long foul down the left field line, now 1-2.
Well, and it's not just getting a day off. I mean, obviously, it was a night game last night, but Don Mattingly looked at the numbers. Rod Barajas hadn't had a hit off of Matt Cain. Jimenez is a left-handed hitter. Struggles, Matt Cain, I shouldn't say struggles, but left-handed hitters have more success than right-handed hitters. So it's all about, a plan.
2-2. Kemp, a leadoff double. Moved to third on the Loney ground out. Dodgers threatening here in the second inning. Rafael Furcal, also not in the starting lineup today. Two from Cain. Fastball missing inside. Full count with Xavier Paul waiting on deck. Hector Jimenez, 28 years of age, a switch hitter. 0 for 3 in his major league career.
Here I'd go with a high fastball. Use Jimenez's aggressiveness against him.
Belt looks towards home and then steps on first. So Kemp holds at third, now 2 away. We take you back to the 2010 postseason. Matt Cain, 3 starts, 21 1/3 innings, 1 unearned run allowed. The 5th pitcher in history to not allow an earned run in his first 3 postseason starts.
And watching him in the postseason, what separated him was his ability to get all of his pitches over. Usually a guy has command of 2 pitches, and he had 4 pitches. He could throw any one of them for strikes. To watch him just barrel through the postseason, it was exciting.
Swing and a miss, 0-1 on Xavier Paul. Paul making his season debut, played in 44 games for the Dodgers last year. One and one. Tony Gwynn Jr. started the first 2 games in left field for the Dodgers this season. One. Fouled off to the left side. There's Kemp, the runner on third, with 2 outs. And Paul lifts this one into left. Pat Pearl moving to his right. And that will do it for the Dodgers in the second. Kemp stranded on third. We'll return after a word from your local Fox station. Saturday baseball presented by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Only one hit of the game. Matt Kemp stranded on third base in the bottom of the second inning. Here at Dodger Stadium. Hard to believe, Eric, it is the 50th year.
And the ballpark still looks new. I mean, that's one of the wonders about this place.
Dodgers' 54th season in Los Angeles. Their 50th year in this ballpark. Mark DeRosa leading off against Ted Lilly. Here in the top of the third inning. DeRosa starting at third base for Pablo Sandoval today. His first start this season. Played in only 26 games last year. Underwent wrist surgery. And Bruce Bochy quoted during spring training. He said, with DeRosa, it's like we signed a new free agent because he barely played last year.
Well, I think he becomes a real wild card for this ball club. Now, they lost Uribe, so DeRosa, he can fill that role. And this guy is the super utility player. As Bruce Bochy mentioned, he missed most of last year. So how long will it take to regain that time? If he's the player that he was when he was with the Cubs a few years ago, 21 home runs, drove in 87 runs. I mean, he'll be a real boost to this ball club.
A 14-year veteran, came up initially with the Atlanta Braves. His teams have been to the postseason each of the last 4 years. Two-one from Lilly. And DeRosa has the Giants' first hit of this ball game as he singles into center field. So the leadoff man is on for the Giants here in the third. Well, Fox Saturday baseball returns next week as the Yankees head to Fenway Park to take on the Red Sox. Some of you will see the Phillies and the Braves. Fox Saturday baseball returns next week at a special time, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, beginning with This Week in Baseball. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Yankees, Red Sox, and Phillies, Braves next Saturday on Fox. So with DeRosa on at first, here is Aaron Rowan as Lilly throws over. Rowan starting in center field today for Andres Torres. Rowan with a base hit into left field. DeRosa moves to second. So the number 7 and 8 hitters in the Giants lineup with base hits back to back here in the third inning.
Pitcher, number 18, Matt Cain.
And now a visit to the mound from the young catcher Jimenez. Back-to-back singles off the bats of DeRosa and Rowan. Two longtime rivals last year. Dodgers won 5 of the first 6 against the Giants, and then things turned around for San Francisco in the second half. Matt Cain, 10 sacrifice bunts last season as Lilly looks towards second.
Well, he just wants to keep DeRosa close to second base. Therefore, he gives his first baseman an opportunity to charge and possibly get a play at third. DeRosa gets too far off. James Loney has no chance. One ball, one strike. Nobody out.
Top of the third inning in Los Angeles with runners on first and second. DeRosa on second, Rowan over at first.
See Loney playing off the bag in front. Gives him an opportunity to get in a bit quicker. See Matt Cain pulling back right there, looking for some movement, seeing if the corners are crashing. That's why on every pitch, each manager can be calling for something different. You're trying to anticipate, are the Dodgers trying to get the runner at third? Are they conceding the bunt? Are the corners crashing? Well, Bochy says, do I let him swing? Do I have him bunt?
2-1. Cain lays down the bunt. Miles to first, so both runners advance on the sacrifice. Time now for a DirecTV game break as we check in on the Yankees and Tigers with Chris Rose. Chris?
Guys, Brad Penny delivers for the Tigers, and so does A-Rod. A run-scoring double as Derek Jeter scores. Yankees tack on 2 more. They have the early lead up in Gotham City. Remember to see every baseball game, most in HD, 1-800-DirecTV. And guys, A-Rod at 35 years old, maybe in line for a 4th MVP award. People think he is just going to have a monster season, EK.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the few off seasons where he could just focus on getting ready for the upcoming season instead of rehabbing something, and he had a great spring.
First pitch to Tejada, in for strike one with DeRosa at third, Rowan over at second, and 1 out.
Well, Matt Cain doing a great job of moving the runners over. He did his part. And this is where the Giants are going to have to execute, because we know they're not going to outscore a lot of teams as far as just banging the ball all over the park. When they get opportunities, they need to translate into runs.
On the ground to the right side, Loney with the toss, Lilly covering. Coming home is DeRosa, and the Giants take a 1-0 lead.
And not pretty, but very effective. You get that run in. That's the first run that the Giants have scored this year without hitting a home run.
Solo shot by Burrell Thursday. 3-run home run off the bat of Belt last night. Tejada with the ground ball to the right side, scoring DeRosa. Rowan moved to third, and here's Freddie Sanchez, who flied out to the left fielder Paul, his first time up. You and Chris were talking about Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod sent a congratulatory message to his former coach, Don Mattingly, after his first managerial victory on Thursday.
Yep. Happy for the old coach.
Mattingly, a coach under Joe Torre, not only here in Los Angeles, but with the New York Yankees earlier in the decade. To Sanchez. Lilly missing high and away, ball 2. Here's Aubrey Huff waiting on deck. Bottom of the order, getting it done for the Giants here in the third inning. As the number 7 hitter DeRosa led off with a single to center. Rowan then single to left field. Sacrifice bunt laid down by the pitcher Cain. And then Tejada driving home DeRosa.
Well, you talk about the bottom of the order. I think also it's a couple of guys, DeRosa and Rowan, that look, they want to get some time. They want to be out on that field, and they feel like that they can still contribute. So when they do get their opportunities, they got to make the most of them.
2-2 now on Sanchez.
I've said it. DeRosa for me is very key on this ball club. If he is healthy, if he is able to play 130, 140 games, I mean, what an addition. And I say an addition. I know he was on the ball club last year, but he missed 136 games. This guy can flat out play.
Full count. Off pitch to Sanchez, and he fouls it off back behind third. Freddie Sanchez, born in Hollywood, California, grew up in the Los Angeles area. His number 21 retired at Burbank High School. MVP of the Foothill League during his high school days. Sanchez will head down to first. First walk issued by Lilly today. So Ted Lilly, after retiring the first 6 Giants, running into some trouble here in the third inning after allowing the back-to-back singles. Runners on first and third with 2 outs. Here's Aubrey Huff.
And you see De Jesus back on the outfield grass. Second base. That does a couple things. Most importantly, it gives him a lot of range, and especially important when James Loney is having to hold Sanchez at first base. You got the left-handed hitter up. You know, Huff doesn't run extremely well.
He spoke during Huff's first at bat about the tremendous season that he had last year for the Giants. Finished 7th in National League Most Valuable Player voting. 26 home runs, drove in 86 runs.
Well, I tell you, through July, he was my pick for the National League MVP. You know, the last 2 months, hit about 250, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. Not great, but I tell you, the first 4 months, he was the MVP in the National League.
Sends this one into the right field corner. And the catch is made at the wall by Andre Ethier. So the Giants strand 2 in the third, but they score a run and lead the Dodgers 1-0. Dodger Stadium, Jamie Carroll will lead off with the Giants leading the Dodgers 1-0. Carroll 0 for 3 in the game on Thursday. Starting at short for Call today. Jamie, a native of Evansville, Indiana, same hometown as his manager.
Yep. Well, super utility guy. Really played a lot more last year than the Dodgers had expected. Arguably was their most valuable player last year, at least from a positional standpoint.
Played in 133 games. DeRosa across the belt, so Carroll is retired. One away. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, and as part of our Fox Sports Supports charitable initiative, we are proud to wear these pins during the 2011 MLB on Fox season to support Stand Up to Cancer and their work to fund groundbreaking research that helps accelerate treatment to patients. For more information, please visit standuptocancer.org/Fox Sports. And we, along with our colleagues, will be wearing these pins throughout the 2011 MLB on Fox season.
Well, Fox Sports each year picking a charity to support. A wonderful choice this year.
Ted Lilly, a career batting average of 108. Gets the bat on it and will be tossed out easily by Kane.
Well, Kane doing a nice job. It goes back. I still, that bunt, the sacrifice bunt, ever so important for this Giant ball club. Marty Aronoff, our crack statistician up here, bringing up a point that, very similar to those Atlanta Brave ball clubs when you had Glavine and Maddox and Smoltz. Not their ability on the mound, but their ability at the plate to do things, to move the runner over, to make contact. And again, Matt Cain doing his job, and then a quick 2 outs here, hoping to get his club back in the dugout.
Marty Aronoff already working his 47th game this regular season.
I'll tell you, Matt Cain, you're going into a series and you're saying, all right, well, they were facing their third starter. It's Matt Cain. You're going, God, that's their third starter? You got to be kidding me. As I said at the opening, this guy's good enough to be a number one. See Jonathan Sanchez there. And the thing about Matt Cain, he continues to get better.
It's Cain's 7th season. He's the longest tenured Giant. First round pick back in 2002. And you talk about durability. He has never missed a start due to injury. In fact, last season, none of the Giants starters went on the disabled list. There's pitching coach Dave Righetti. 1-2 to Aaron Miles. And again, it's right back to Matt Cain. So a 10-pitch, 1-2-3 third for Cain. Budweiser is sponsored by the all-new 100% reinvented Ford Explorer. Drive one. And by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV. DirecTV. Back at Dodger Stadium, Giants with a 1-0 lead. Top of the fourth inning. Giants scored their run in the third. And here's Buster Posey leading off against Ted Lilly. Lilly missing high and away, ball one. Posey grounded out to the second baseman, De Jesus, his first time up. And he fouls it back over the screen, 1-1. Well, how about the Giants? Just 3 games over 500 before Posey was recalled last year. 21-game hitting streak as a rookie. Named the National League's Rookie of the Year, 5th rookie catcher to win a World Series. And with all the talk about Brandon Belt during spring training, off to a good start. I know the Giants still have 159 games remaining, but there will certainly be a lot of chatter about whether San Francisco will have back-to-back Rookies of the Year, something that has not been done in the National League since, and I know you were well aware. Last National League team with back-to-back Rookies of the Year, Dodgers with 5 in a row. As Posey rounds out to the shortstop, Carroll. And, of course, you started that run back in 1992.
Yeah, followed it up with Mike Piazza, Raul Mondesi, Deo Nomo, and Todd Hollinsworth. What a pretty good run right there. I was kidding Buster Posey yesterday. You know, he's going to make things difficult for Brandon Belt just because, you know, Buster made last year look so easy. And I think a lot of maybe Giant fans will expect that to happen for Brandon Belt this year.
A slow roller off the bat of Burrow. Willie fires to first in time to retire Burrow.
Coming to the plate, first baseman, number 9.
A good play by Ted Lilly. You see him pick it up. He's putting his hand and forces the ball down into the ground. James Loney moves the feet, goes to the other side of the bag. Now watch when he picks it up. Watch his top hat. He forces the ball into the ground, and when you do that, that way the ball can't squirt away from you. If you try to scoop it or underhand it, it may slip away from you. You always want to use the ground, force it into the ground. He makes a nice play. Pat Burrell hustling, but not as fast as he used to be.
Is that something?
Was he ever fast, though?
Strike one to Belt. I was about to ask you, is that something the pitchers would have worked on during spring training?
Not necessarily that, but it's something that, as a pitcher, you've got to know who your runner is. And again, make things go slow. Don't respond slow, but slow things down. Don't try to hurry up. It's when you get yourself into trouble. And I think that's where, you know, we're talking about that. That's where the Giants have got themselves into trouble the last 2 games.
0-2 on Belt, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Well, you asked the question about Pat Burrell's speed or lack thereof, and 7 career stolen bases, Eric, for Pat. And you talk about scouting and drafting, and how about this list of Giant draft picks since 2002? Pretty good, huh?
Great job by the scouting department. Now look at those guys, and those aren't guys that just, you know, came up to the big leagues and are support players. Those are impact guys,
including 4 members of their starting rotation. Their closer, Brian Wilson, who is currently on the disabled list, led the National League with 48 saves last year. There's the beard.
Well, what a year he had last year. Some of the numbers he put up, phenomenal. There was something I was looking at the other day where, you know, the inherited runners as a reliever. I mean, he inherited 30 runners and only 4 scored.
Wow.
30 runners and only 4 scored.
Belt, center field. Kemp backpedaling. And the Giants are retired in order in the 4th. Matt Kemp will bat third for the Dodgers when we return. Giants, no runs on 1 hit for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 4th inning. On the first Saturday of the regular season. Dodgers out to a 2-0 start. Ivan DeJesus leading off. And he takes a called strike. DeJesus grounded out to the third baseman DeRosa. His first time up. Now 0 for 4 in his major league career. After playing in 562 minor league games. Made his major league debut last night. Matt Cain has allowed only 1 base runner over the first 3 innings. That was Matt Kemp, who led off the second with a double, but was stranded on third.
Well, and that's one of the strengths of Matt Cain. I mean, he can get himself into trouble, but guys very rarely are able to capitalize. I mean, opponents only hit .221 against him last year. He can pitch himself out of dilemmas all day long.
Cain 13 wins last year, career high 14 victories 2 seasons ago when he was named to the All-Star team. But has not had a lot of success against the Dodgers. In fact, he lost his first 8 decisions against Los Angeles before winning his last 2.
Well, Matt Cain efficient today. 35 strikes, 14 balls. You know, and that's a thing that he's improved on year to year over the last couple of years. Being more efficient, throwing more strikes.
First strikeout for Matt Cain. Take a look back, Eric, over the first 2 games of this series. Giants have had their problems in the field, committing 5 errors.
Well, one thing about the Giants, they don't have a lot of range. They're not going to wow you defensively. But what they did last year and what I believe they will do this year, they will catch the ball. I mean, they were very good at catching the ball. Like I said, they're not going to range everywhere. So far this year, they've just tried to hurry things, make something happen when it wasn't there. Again, not anything that the Giants are concerned about or anybody else should be concerned about.
Giants coming off their first World Championship since 1954 when they were still the New York Giants. Bit of a banner war in the skies above Dodger Stadium on Thursday during the season opener. First, a plane flew high above the stadium. It said San Francisco Giants 2010 champs beat LA. And then some Dodger fans going back at the Giants. Banner on the second plane, LA 5 World Series titles, San Francisco 1. And now Ethier becomes the second Dodgers base runner of today's game.
Well, this is a do-or-die play for the third baseman. Mark DeRosa with a left-handed hitter up, gets out of the box. Well, he's playing deep. He's got to come in and barehand it and try and make the throw. Look, if you don't field it cleanly, the smart thing to do, and what he did, he just eats it. Don't compound things by trying to rush it over there when you don't have a play. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't.
So an infield hit for Ethier. And here's Matt Kemp, doubled in the second inning. Has reached base 7 times in this series. 4 hits, 3 walks. The 0-1 to Kemp. Bouncing off the mound, stepping on second to Hada. Throws to first, double play. So the Dodgers are erased in the 4th. Scott's MLB Fan Guide, available exclusively at Lowe's. Mark DeRosa leading off for the Giants here in the top of the 5th inning against Ted Lilly. Giants scored their run in the 3rd, and DeRosa led that inning off with a single up the middle. And he came around to score the game's only run. DeRosa, Rowand, and Kane for the Giants here in the 5th. Giants started the season with 6 on the road, 4 here in Los Angeles, 2 in San Diego. As DeRosa fouls it off down the right field line. Now 1-2. And then the Giants will play their home opener next Friday against the Cardinals. They will raise their championship banner. Now 2-2 on DeRosa. And then, Eric, a week from tomorrow, Buster Posey will receive his Rookie of the Year trophy. And the 5 previous Giants Rookies of the Year will be on hand. Mays, Cepeda, McCovey, Matthews, and Montefusco.
Now I'm guessing that will not go in a shoebox in a closet.
Well, you already told us your first home run ball is in the shoebox in the closet. How about your Rookie of the Year trophy? Where is that?
It's not in the shoebox in the closet. It's in the back part of the house, but it's not in the shoebox.
But you are able to locate it if need be.
Yes.
DeRosa up the middle. Nice play by Carroll. Spins and throws him out.
I said it earlier, Jamie Carroll, probably the most important position player on last year's Dodger ball club. You see him range and then turn his body. By doing that, it allows him to make a stronger throw to first base. Mark DeRosa, everybody probably cringing to see him go head first just because of the hand issues. But Mark hustling down the whole way.
One away, here's Aaron Rowand. Rowand singled back in the 3rd inning. With his second base hit of the game. As he singles to left, time for another DirecTV game break as we set it down to the field. And Chris Rose. Chris?
Guys, Cards, and Padres. Albert Pujols' hit went a little further than Rowand's. Yeah, on the 10th anniversary of his big league debut, his first homer of the year, 409th of his career to give him a 3-2 lead. Remember, to see every baseball game, most in HD, it's 1-800-DirecTV. Kenny and Eric?
All right, thanks, Chris. A familiar sight to St. Louis Cardinal fans as Albert Pujols goes deep. Here at Dodger Stadium, a 1-0 Giants lead. Here's Matt Cain. Beautiful sacrifice bunt, his first time up, which helped lead to the San Francisco run. Now looking to move Rowand over with 1 out here in the 5th.
If you're the Dodgers right now, you're not trying to do anything special. Try and get the runner at second. You just want to record the out. I mentioned Kane doing a nice job in his last at-bat.
Rowand goes and will be tagged out at second by Carroll. Well, turns out a balk was called, so Rowand will remain out at second base.
Let's see right there, it gives the appearance of going home. Aaron Rowand right now just going on first move. He's going on first move. He knows he's dead in the water, but you hear second base umpire pointing, saying just stand up, Gary Cederstrom.
So a runner in scoring position for the Giants with one out. The 0-1 to Kane, swinging away, 0-2.
Well, tough to see from up here, but first base umpire Adrian Johnson, home plate umpire Fielding Culbreth, everybody's calling it. Wasn't much of an argument from Ted Lilly.
0-2 to Kane, a called strike 3. Third strikeout for Lilly, now 2 away.
Shortstop number 10, Miguel.
So with 2 outs, here's Miguel Tejada. Has grounded out twice, but drove in the game's only run of the 3rd inning. With a ground ball to the right side, scoring DeRosa from 3rd.
Well, Tejada's had some success as far as power numbers. He's hit 3 home runs against Ted Lilly. You know, all he's looking for right now, though, is a base hit.
Rowan, big lead off second. And the first pitch to Tejada in for a called strike, 0-1. Rowan Tejada split last season between Baltimore and San Diego. American League MVP back in 2002. Now 36 years of age. Base hit it to left field. Rowan around 3rd, heading home. The throw from Paul is off the mark. And Tejada is in safely at 2nd. So Miguel Tejada drives in his 2nd run of the game. And the Giants now lead the Dodgers 2-0.
Well, this is why the Giants got Tejada. This is an off-speed pitch. Drives the ball to left field, scoring Aaron Rowan. But he's there because they think that he can provide some offensive punch. He'll make the routine play. He's not going to make the flashy play at shortstop. Doing a good job of hustling into second base. Aaron Rowan scoring all the way.
So a single and an RBI. Tejada moving to 2nd on the throw. So the balk by Lilly leading to the 2nd Giants run.
Well, and that changes the complexion. I mean, what would have been an out. Then Matt Cain strikes out. The Dodgers are in the dugout. Giants have a run on the board. 2-0 lead.
Freddie Sanchez with a base hit down the left field line. Here comes Tejada. The Giants now extend to a 3-0 lead. First run batted in of the season for Freddie Sanchez.
Well, Sanchez getting a pitch on the inner part of the plate, puts it right on the line. Third base umpire Lance Barksdale right on it. Tejada coming around from second base. Remember, the Giants are scoring all their runs today. Base hit, move the guy over. Manufacturing some runs. Great effort, great agility shown by that bat boy down there. Grabbed the bucket and the chair, hopped up on the mat. There you go.
Multitasking.
Look at this. Watch this. Here we go. Look at this ability. Athleticism. Look at with the bucket up into the stands.
Very impressive.
I'm going to give that kid a tryout.
So the Giants now lead 3-0. Here's Aubrey Huff. Huff 0 for 2 today. Giants with 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning. And a big balk committed by Ted Lilly. Bounce foul off to the right side, 1-1. You mentioned earlier, Giants scored all of their runs over the first 2 games via the long ball. But that is not the case today.
Well, I think they'll be a better offensive ball club this year than what they were last year. I think they're a better team than they were last year. Now, whether they accomplish the same thing, that's another story. But on paper, I think they're more athletic. I think they have more versatility. Offensively, I think they're more potent.
You saw Mike McDougal up and throwing in the Dodger pen. You know, one name we have not mentioned from a Giants standpoint is playoff hero Cody Ross, who's on the disabled list with a strained right calf.
That's just kind of a freak injury. Talked to him yesterday. He said he was standing out there in right field and hadn't had any issue, moved and just grabbed on it.
Huff fouls it back, now 2-2.
But you're talking about Cody Ross getting back in the lineup. We don't see Andres Torres. There's Brian Sabian, the architect of this giant ball club. Looking at that ring, saying, boy, we're going to have another one here in a few weeks. Don Mattingly and bench coach Trey Hillman.
Payoff pitch to Huff, and a base hit into right field. Here comes Sanchez heading home. The throw from Ethier is cut off, and the Giants have their 3rd run of the inning. They now lead 4-0.
Well, Aubrey Huff getting on the board in the 2011 season, his first base hit. Stays back with his hands and flips it out to right field for a big 2-out RBI. That's the 3rd 2-out RBI this inning for this giant ball club.
And the first hit of the season for Huff, who started 0 for 9. Buster Posey 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice today. As third baseman Aaron Miles comes over for a visit with Ted Lilly. Posey with a pair of home runs against Lilly last September here at Dodger Stadium. September 4th, a solo shot of the 7th inning. And then 12 days later in San Francisco, another solo shot in the 3rd inning. Lilly, the only pitcher taken deep twice by Posey last season. Giants with 3 consecutive 2-out run-scoring base hits. And that will be all for Ted Lilly. Mike McDougal coming out of the pen for the Dodgers, who trail by 4. McDougal, who pitched for the Cardinals last year, will make his Dodgers debut, coming on in relief of Ted Lilly, who does not make it through the 5th inning. Lilly allowing 3 runs on 4 hits in this inning through 75 pitches. So his day is done.
Hey, you talk about that balk was instrumental in this inning, and his 28 balks is the highest among any active pitcher in the big leagues.
He retired the first Giant here in the 5th, DeRosa, thanks to the nice play by Carroll. Rowan singled. And then as Rowan was heading for second, Lilly called for the balk. So Rowan toward second base. Lilly struck out Kane for the second out, but then 3 consecutive run-scoring hits. Huff on at first. Buster Posey at the plate. And the fastball from McDougal in for strike 1. Posey has grounded out twice, now 2 for 10 in the series.
And if you're a right-handed hitter, McDougal is not a comfortable at-bat. A lot of arms and legs coming at you. Throws a heavy ball, runs into the right-handed hitter. I'm sure Buster, when he was going up to the plate, was saying, "Oh, please, Don Mattingly, stay in that dugout. Get one more at bat against the lefty."
Now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Posey, with Huff on at first after driving in his first run of the season. Runs batted in for Tejada, Sanchez, and Huff here in the 5th. Huff goes, and Posey fouls it off.
Yeah, it's just not fun as a right-handed hitter to face a guy like McDougal. You see that ball right there just continuing to run in on Buster Posey. Can't do much with it. What he does do with it, takes it right off the left ankle. That's just the worst, too. As a hitter, you're sitting up there, you're going, "Oh, you got to be kidding me." Little thumping in the foot. You know, the last thing you want is another pitch on the inner half of the plate. You're hoping for a slider away or a fastball away. You just don't need another ball off your foot.
One, 2, and Posey slices it into right field for a base hit. 4th consecutive hit for the Giants. And Posey with a base hit in each of the first 3 games this season.
Well, Posey fights this one off. They're going back inside, and it's down low, and he does a good job of just keeping his hands inside the ball and pushing it out to right field. As a hitter, that's a huge victory for you. You're not feeling good. You're down. You've got 2 strikes. That's what makes Posey one of the better hitters in the National League.
So with runners on first and second, here's Pat Burrell, and he takes strike 1. Burrell 0 for 2 today. Giants with 3 runs in the inning on 5 base hits. They've chased the Dodgers starting pitcher Ted Lilly. after losing back-to-back one-run games to Don Mattingly's Dodgers. Bruce Bochy's Giants with a 4-0 lead. Huff, the runner on second. Posey over at first.
Jimenez doing a nice job of keeping that ball in front. It's the second time this inning with McDougal on the mound that he's bounced one considerably in front of home plate.
One-two to Burrell, and he strikes out for the second time today. Inning finally comes to an end. Giants score 3 runs on 5 hits in the inning, and now lead the Dodgers 4-0. Presented by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Back at Dodger Stadium, Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Giants. No runs, only 2 hits for the Dodgers. Dodgers have had only 2 base runners against Matt Cain, who will face James Loney leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Loney grounded out to the shortstop Tejada, his first time up.
Well, Matt Cain, he's picked up right where he left off from last year's postseason. Really having his way. Matt Kemp has hit a ball hard.
And Loney lifts this one into left field. Burrell is under it for out number 1. Well, the Dodgers off to a 2-0 start under Donnie Baseball. Don Mattingly, what a career with the New York Yankees. American League MVP back in 1985, a 6-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glove Award winner at first base. And he spent the last 7 years on 2 coasts coaching under Joe Torre, named the 9th manager in Dodgers history.
You know what I found interesting when speaking with him is he talked about taking things from all different types of managers, players, but also things that he wasn't going to do that maybe other guys did.
Jimenez flies out to Rowan in center field.
Whether that was, the way you treat a player after he has a bad game, or maybe the lack of communication. And he didn't just single out one player or one manager. And I think that that's why he'll have an opportunity to be very successful. He's not patterning himself after anybody. He's taking a little bit of everything and trying to translate that into what he thinks will be a successful environment here in LA.
Here's Xavier Paul, who flied to left his first time up. During our meeting with Mattingly, and there's General Manager Ned Colletti, Chris Rose asked Don when he started to think about potentially managing, and he said during the last 3 or 4 years of my playing career, he said George Steinbrenner was always very supportive, telling Don, you'll be a good manager someday. He gained a lot of confidence by working under Joe Torre the last 7 years. And Mattingly on Thursday became the first manager to win in his debut against the defending champion since Lou Piniella with the Yankees back in '86, and Don Mattingly actually played in that game 25 years ago.
Well, I think his emphasis is going to be communication. And he mentioned that in different ways, whether it's letting guys know they'll play or not play. You see the pitch count, Matt Cain very efficient. Again, better than 2-to-1 strikes to balls ratio.
2-2 now on Paul.
But getting back to Don Mattingly, the communication part, very important. And that can be done in different ways. You don't have to communicate through the media. If you've got an issue, go right to the player. If you know that you're thinking about sitting a guy or giving him a day off, let him know ahead of time, a day ahead, 2 days ahead. Players appreciate that. And they'll respond better.
Backhanded by the second baseman Sanchez, but Paul beats the throw, so the Dodgers with a 2-out base runner here in the 5th. An infield single for Xavier Paul. And 2 of the 3 Dodger hits have been infield singles.
Well, like I said, Matt Cain has really just had everything working for him today. Only ball that's really been struck well. Matt Kemp, Miles hit a liner back to him. First batter of the game, but Cain has been solid.
Here's Jamie Carroll, grounded out to the third baseman DeRosa, his first time up. Another manager that Don Mattingly played for, and you talked about communication, and he really enjoyed playing for him, and communication was a big reason why, was the late Johnny Oates, who was Don Mattingly's AAA manager in the Yankee system. Went on to manage the Baltimore Orioles and the Texas Rangers. Rod Barajas has come out on deck with the pitcher McDougal due up. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Giants leading the Dodgers 4-0. One and 2 now on Carroll. There's Dave Hansen coaching first base for the Dodgers today in the absence of Davey Lopes, not with the club due to a death in the family. So we send our condolences to the entire Lopes family. What an addition to this Dodgers coaching staff. Runner goes, and Carroll fouls it off to the right side.
Forget just coaching staff. What he means to this team. I mean, you can talk about some of the acquisitions, whether Uribe or Garland is a starting pitcher, or Thames out left. But for me, Davey Lopes is the single most important acquisition. When you look at some of the numbers, when he goes to a team, the year before, what they've done as far as base running and stealing bases, and then the year he's there as a first base coach. Stolen bases improve, the success rate improves, and there's no reason to think that'll be any different here in LA. And that's what's going to be important. LA is going to have to be aggressive, manufacture things. And for me, Davey Lopes, without question, The best first base coach in the game.
The Phillies with Davey on their staff the last 4 years. The leaders in stolen base percentage. As Carroll rips one into the gap in left center. Holding at third is Paul. Dodgers now with runners on the corners with 2 out.
Well, it looks like Jamie Carroll just kind of pushes this ball out. You know, it's not really a full swing. He just gets the bat level on a high pitch and shoots it out to left center. Xavier Paul picking up the ball and heading easily into third.
First hit of the season for Carroll. So here's Rod Barajas pinch hitting for McDougal. Career .385 average as a pinch hitter. Rod 3 for 7 over the first 2 games this season. Acquired by the Dodgers from the Mets during the 2010 year. Played in 25 games with the Dodgers last season. Just foul. Off to the left side, 0-2.
Well, he's got some pop. He can run into a few balls, and you know, as a catcher in the last few years, I think only Brian McCann, as a catcher, has hit more home runs than Rod Barajas the last 2 seasons.
We saw Kenley Jansen up in the Dodgers pen. Kane missing high and away. 1-2 on Barajas. First and third, 2 outs. With the Dodgers trailing the Giants 4-0. One-two from Kane. Barajas down on strike. So the Dodgers strand 2 in the 5th. Still 4-0 Giants. Budweiser is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball across the country. And by Lowe's. Lowe's, let's build something together. Time now for our Chrysler game summary with the Giants leading the Dodgers 4-0. Matt Cain on the mound for San Francisco. Snares the line drive off the bat of Aaron Miles. Giants turn 2 back in the 4th inning. And then they would score 3 runs in the 5th. Tejada, Sanchez, and Huff. 3 consecutive Giants drive-in runs. 3 runs on 5 hits in the inning. And the Giants lead 4-0 as Miguel Tejada has driven in 2 of the San Francisco runs. Cain shutting out the Dodgers on 4 hits through 5, and the Giants chase Los Angeles starter Ted Lilly after 4 2/3. Kenley Jansen, the former catcher who was brilliant in his 25 appearances with the Dodgers on the mound last season. There are his numbers. Earned run average of under 1. He allowed 2 earned runs in 27 innings, facing Brandon Belt, the rookie first baseman who was 0 for 2 today. Hit his first major league home run in his 5th career at bat off Chad Billingsley in the 4th inning yesterday. So we have the former catcher on the mound and the ex-pitcher Belt at the plate. Belt drafted as a pitcher back in 2006 in the 1st round by the Boston Red Sox. Did not sign. Attended the University of Texas. And it looks as if he's made the right decision.
Yes, he has. Very disciplined hitter. Sees a lot of pitches. His last at bat, he saw 7 pitches. Here he's fighting off a few. He's not one of those guys that it's going to be 1, 2, 3 and you're out, or get him on the 1st or 2nd pitch. He's going to make you work.
He saw 29 pitches in the game on Thursday.
Yeah, and that's your first game in the big leagues against Clayton Kershaw, one of the best in baseball. Shadows at Dodger Stadium. You got everything working against you.
Last year at this time, he was a single-A player, moved up to double-A, played 13 games at the triple-A level. And a lot of debate during spring training as to whether or not he would make this Giants ball club this year at the start of the season. The veteran Aubrey Huff, who had a tremendous year last year, moved to the outfield.
That's a great at-bat. That's an at-bat right there that you see from a 10-year vet. Not a guy that's in his 3rd game for a former, for a world championship ball club. A rookie going against a guy that's throwing 98 miles an hour. I mean, that's why the Giants are excited about him. That's why he's in the big leagues right now.
So Belt draws his 2nd walk this season. Here's DeRosa, who singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. .94 miles per hour from Kenley Jansen.
That's one thing of the Dodger ball club, the bullpen, they've got some arms down there. You're not going to run out anybody that's throwing 84 miles an hour with a little slider trying to trick you. And that's where Ned Colletti feels he's strengthened this ball club. And that is an area, because offensively they don't expect to be a dominant team. They're going to have to shorten the ball game. They feel like their starting staff is good and that their bullpen is going to be one of their strengths.
Jansen's 2nd pitcher out of the pen today. Mike McDougall finished the 5th inning. In case you're wondering why Jansen wears number 74, Marty Aronoff, our statistician, informing us that was his house number down in Curacao. Jansen missing inside. 2-1. We mentioned Jansen, a former catcher, caught for the Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic back in 2009. And then a breakout season with the Dodgers last year, allowing only 2 earned runs in 25 appearances. Picked up 4 saves. Missing high and tight with the fastball, now 3-1.
Well, the Dodgers did this once before that I recall. Felix Rodriguez was a catcher in our organization. They moved him on to be a pitcher, was very successful, had a number of excellent years with the San Francisco Giants. But a guy that had a great arm, couldn't hit a lick. Man, he could throw. Tommy Lasorda made that change.
Belt goes, throw down to second, is not in time. And Brandon Belt has his first career stolen base.
Belt getting a good jump right here. It's a good ball to throw, but Jamie Carroll has to catch that ball well in front of the bag. Brandon Belt just going. He looks in, looks twice.
First career home run last night, first career steal today. Payoff pitch to DeRosa, right center, and it drops in. Belt around third. He will score easily. DeRosa in at second with his first run batted in of the season, and the Giants now lead the Dodgers 5-0.
With a guy on second base, your job as a hitter is just to drive them in. You can let the ball travel deep. You're not trying to drive the ball out of the ballpark or anything. DeRosa lets the ball travel in on him, keeps his hands in, and shoots it out to right center. See him doing his best Pete Rose imitation there. But a very nice day. Again, DeRosa, for me, is going to be very important to the success of this Giant ball club this year.
DeRosa's second hit today. Rowland has a pair of hits. Pitching coach Rick Honeycutt out for a visit with Jansen. So the Giants now lead 5-0. Well, join Major League Baseball and the MLB Players Association in helping Japan's children in need. Visit unicef.org or text Japan to 864-233 to donate $10. Standard texting rates apply. For more information, go to MLB.com/Japan Relief. $500,000 has already been contributed by MLB and the Players Association. 100% of all funds received by UNICEF will go directly to the Japan relief efforts, and many Japanese players are participating in fundraising programs through their clubs, including the Dodgers' Hiroki Kuroda, who is scheduled to start tomorrow's game against Barry Zito. Sounds like Zito was all right, involved in an automobile accident here in Los Angeles on Wednesday night.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy joking with us and telling us before the game that he told Barry he'd ought to put on a neck brace and go out to the mound tomorrow. Barry says he'll be all right.
Apparently a taxi ran a red light, and Barry said he was very fortunate that he saw it coming from the side and stepped on the gas, stepped on the accelerator. Otherwise, it could have been a lot worse.
Barry sporting the mustache there.
Yeah.
A new look for him.
Giants with a run here in the 6th. Another look at tomorrow's starting pitcher for San Francisco. And we mentioned Brian Wilson, their closer on the DL. He is scheduled to face hitters at 1 o'clock tomorrow. 3-0 to Rowand. In for a called strike, now 3-1. Giants doing the little things today. Sacrifice bunt by Kane led to their first run. Belt with a stolen base. Came around to score on the DeRosa double. Taking advantage of a balk. Back in the 5th inning. Rowan pops it up to the left side. The shortstop Carroll is under it for out number 1. Well, tomorrow NASCAR on Fox moves to Martinsville, where Denny Hamlin will try to defend his title and take home his 4th straight checkered flag on that track. Coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing begins tomorrow with the pre-race show delivered by Pizza Hut at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific in high definition right here on Fox. Here's Matt Cain, comes to the plate for the 3rd time today with a runner on base. Sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 5th. Mark DeRosa, the runner on second, doubled in a run earlier this inning after the leadoff walk issued to Belt, who then stole second. There's DeRosa.
Having a nice day, DeRosa. He could easily have 3 base hits today. Remember Jamie Carroll making that nice play up the middle. Mark DeRosa taking advantage of the opportunity to get out there. Should I say it again, Kenny? Who's going to be important to this year's ball club?
I think I've heard that before. There's DeRosa, the former quarterback at the University of Pennsylvania. Grew up a Yankee fan in northern New Jersey. Doing it today against the former Yankee first baseman. And now the manager of the Dodgers, Don Mattingly. Payoff pitch to Cain, and he draws a 1-out walk. Second walk issued by Kenley Jansen.
Well, this is just where you see the inexperience of Kenley Jansen. You know, whether it was with Brandon Belt, where he gets ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and then unable to put him away. With DeRosa, he throws 6 pitches too. Well, Matt Cain, the pitcher, you've got him down 1 and 2. I mean, with as good a stuff as he has, he's just got to trust it.
Now facing Miguel Tejada, who has driven in 2 of the 5 San Francisco runs today. RBI ground out in the 3rd. Run scoring single in the 5th. Giants lost the first 2 games of this series, each by 1 run. 2-1 on Thursday and 4-3 last night. Career numbers for Tejada. A 6-time All-Star. He's driven in 100 runs 6 times. One and 2.
I think there were some concerns in the Giants camp the first few weeks of spring training. You know, wasn't really stinging the ball defensively. Didn't look all that sharp, but the last week and a half, we really started to turn it on and play well. And you know, Bruce Bochy said, "Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm comfortable with that."
Rips this one off the glove of the 3rd baseman Miles. No play, bases loaded. Second hit of the game for Tejada. And the Giants have loaded the bases with only 1 out.
Well, 2 things. I think the ball probably wasn't a hit as hard as Aaron Miles thought. But we go back to an earlier report by Chris Rose talking about how difficult it is to pick the ball up off the bat when you're playing in the infield or the outfield, you know, with the sky the way it is and in day games. And I can attest, it's tough. You've got the white shirts in the background. It's light. I remember Ozzie Smith, the Hall of Fame shortstop, playing for the St. Louis Cardinals here in a day game. And a ball was hit in the hole between third base and short, and he broke to his left.
Wow.
Broke to his left. First step to his left. And this is as difficult a place to play day games as there is in the National League.
So I guess if it happened to Ozzie, it can happen to anybody.
Man, you're good, Kenny. That's what I was thinking.
You call that a layup. Sanchez, shallow right. 3 Dodgers conversion, it drops in. DeRosa scores, and the Giants now lead 6-0. So Freddie Sanchez with his second base hit, second run batted in. Here's Aubrey Huff. Huff singled in a run his last time up. Ball 1. Kenley Jansen has thrown 32 pitches in the inning. Has retired only 1 Giant.
And no movement down in that Dodger bullpen.
Ball 2.
Well, there we go. Get a little movement down there.
There's Kane on third, Tejada on second. Sanchez over at first. And the movement you talked about is Lance Cormier. Up the middle, base hit. Kane scores. Here comes Tejada. Holding at second is Sanchez. Second and third runs batted in today for Aubrey Huff. The Giants now lead 8-0.
Little cutter on the outer part of the plate. Aubrey Huff drives it up the middle, and 8 runs scored today. No home runs for the San Francisco Giants. You know, that's something that's got to please Bruce Bochy. They relied a lot on the home run last year. Let's see what they've done today. 11 of the last 14 guys reached base. But that's why I think this Giant offense will be better this year. A little more athletic, a little more experienced. You have guys for the entire year. They know their roles. Remember, this is an offense today putting up 8 runs. Pablo Sandoval's not in there. Andres Torres isn't in there. 2 pretty good offensive players. Cody Ross is on the DL.
Still only 1 out. 4 runs in the inning on 4 hits and 2 walks. The inning started with that great at bat by Belt, who drew a leadoff walk. Stole second. 1-1 on Posey.
And that's a great illustration of why you continue to battle. And, you know, Belt was down 1-2. Very easy to, I'm down 1-2, and not to throw away the at bat, but hey, you know, we're up 4-0. I'm down 1-2. I'm going to just try and get something I can yank. He battles, works a walk, and starts the inning. That's a rookie doing it, too. A rookie.
Saw that graphic a moment ago. 11 of the last 14 Giants have reached base. On the other side, only 4 Dodgers have reached base all game.
Well, that's because Matt Cain has just been lights out. Here's Matt.
He's been a factor at the plate as well.
He's big with that sacrifice bunt. Aubrey Huff getting on the board with the RBIs today.
Cain walked this inning, came around to score. Two to Posey. And that is out number 2. First strikeout for Jansen. Well, help make a baseball moment kids will never forget. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball. Plus, enter to win one of 4 trips to the 2011 MLB All-Star Game and the keys to a new Chevrolet. 2 away. Here's Pat Burrell, 9th batter of the inning for the Giants. San Francisco bats around. Quiet afternoon for Burrell. 0 for 3, struck out twice.
Yeah, when your team puts up 8 runs, you'd like to chip in somehow. Don't want to feel left out.
4 this inning. 4 earned runs against Jansen, who allowed only 2 earned runs all of last season in 25 appearances. He doubles that total in this inning.
Yeah, dominant last year. You know, just came in and blew guys away. Again, I'll go back to that at bat by Brandon Belt. I mean, he continued to battle, and it as a pitcher, just when you end up walking a guy after having 2 strikes, you're like, oh.
Burrell strikes out for the 3rd time today, but the Giants add to their lead by scoring 4 runs off Jansen in the 6th. They now lead the Dodgers 8-0. From Dodger Stadium, with the Giants now leading the Dodgers 8-0. Top of the order, Aaron Miles leading off against Matt Cain. Miles 0 for 2 today. A couple of changes for the Giants. Aaron Rowan moves from center over to left field, replacing Pat Burrell. As Miles lines out to the first baseman belt. And Torres now in the game. Andres Torres in center field. Home plate umpire Fieldon Culbreth wearing a microphone for us today, and he explained the balk committed by Lilly to Dodgers manager Don Mattingly between innings.
He just basically put his foot back down and came towards home plate. He didn't. You got to gain distance.
Right.
Step directly to and gain distance to the base you're throwing to.
Okay.
He didn't do that.
All right.
He just kind of picked it up and saw that he took off and pretty much put it down coming towards me.
Now I know why they call you Kingsley. That damn voice.
Isn't that hard to hide this one, isn't it? You can...
Good right there. They couldn't hide that country accent. But that's as well as I've heard it explained, as far as you got to go towards the base and create distance. You know, you always hear, oh, well, he did this with his shoulder or his hip, or he did this with his foot, or you've got to step. But you look at that, and it does. It looks like Ted just picks his foot up and sees Aaron Rowan running, and then just puts his foot straight down, and he doesn't create the distance or step towards the bag. Take a look at it from home plate, and it's a little bit, but it's not significant. But the way that the home plate umpire explained it, like I said, that's as good as it gets.
And Culbreth now calls the Jesus out on strikes. Fieldon Culbreth, nicknamed Country, grew up in South Carolina. He was a terrific baseball player in college at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Came to the Sun Belt Conference's all-conference team. Eric is both a pitcher and a right fielder. But a nice job explaining the balk ruling to rookie skipper Don Mattingly. Here's Andre Ethier, and he takes a called strike, 0-1. Ethier 1 for 2, an infield hit his last time up, one of 4 Dodger base runners.
You know, we talked about the offense today with the Giants, and you know, everybody contributing, but I don't think enough can be said about what Matt Cain has done today.
Second hit of the game for Ethier. Dodgers have a 2-out base runner as we head downstairs to Chris Rose. Chris?
Kenny, I want to give you some props. Where did you get that last nugget on our umpire? Where'd you get that? You got to give that up, because there's no way you could have been prepared for all that knowledge on UNC Charlotte baseball players.
Go ahead, give it up, Kenny.
Cannot divulge my sources,
Oh,
Chris.
come on, Kenny. Come on.
Yeah, I'll tell you where he got it. It's right here.
There
He
it
got
is.
a hold of one of these the other day.
Oh.
Yes, right here.
The official umpire's media guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my 2009 version. I think I'm a little late.
We'll make sure to pass it along, Chris.
Thanks, Kenny.
It was good, though. We had an opportunity to go visit with the umpires yesterday before the game and talk to them, ask them some questions. And all good guys, very personable. And Lance Barksdale had a group, the third base umpire today had a group out yesterday. They do a lot of charity work. Matt Cain right there, 85 pitches. No charity today for the Dodgers, just absolutely lights out for Matt Cain.
And that group, the Friends of Lance Barksdale, spent some time yesterday posing for numerous photos with a former Dodger first baseman.
Was the Garv here yesterday? Old Steve Garvey?
If he was, I missed him. 1-2 to Kemp. And he lifts it into right field. Aubrey Huff is under it. We'll get Chris's umpire's media guide as we pause for a word from your local Fox station. Saturday baseball presented by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. 8 runs, 11 hits for the Giants. No runs on 5 hits for the Dodgers. As we move to the 7th inning, Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose. Game 1, year 16 of Fox Saturday baseball. And there is the 4th Dodgers pitcher of the game, the 30-year-old right-hander Lance Cormier. After Kenley Jansen allowed 4 earned runs in the 6th inning. Giants batted around. Tony Gwynn enters the game in center field. He will bat in the number 9 spot. Cormier will bat 4th. So here's Brandon Belt, who led off that last inning, and we've talked about it, with a walk. Terrific at bat. Stole second and then came around to score.
That's the thing. You look at his now. He's 0 for 2 today. A strikeout, a walk, and a fly out. But he's had good at-bats every time up. And that last at-bat he had, again, like I said, down 1 and 2, he could have given the thing away. Battled, and starts the inning where the Giants score 4 runs.
Giants with a run in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. Leading the Dodgers 8-0. Giants did not play in many of these type games last year. So many one-run games, low-scoring games. Scored only 5 runs their first 23 innings this year. 7 runs over the last 2 innings. Even in the postseason, Giants scored 3 runs or less in 9 of their 15 games, and they won 6 of the 9.
Yeah, with their pitching, if they do anything offensively, and you know, it's like I said, last year they relied a lot on the home run. 8 runs today, nothing out of the ballpark. You know, if they're able to mix these sorts of games and the manufacturing of runs, look out.
On the ground to the second baseman, De Jesus with a wild throw, and Loney had to come off the bag, so De Jesus commits his first major league error.
Well, 2 things. He just stays back and waits for the ball to come to him, then doesn't really turn his body to make a throw. You know, because he doesn't turn his shoulders, the ball sails a bit on him. Again, this kid, excellent defense at second baseman.
So Belt reaches on the error. Here's Mark DeRosa, who has 2 hits today. He scored 2 runs and he's driven in a run. You look at the bottom of the order. DeRosa 2 hits, Rowan 2 hits, and Kane with 2 very productive at bats as well. Line drive caught by De Jesus as Belt returns to first, 1 away.
There's Matt Kane right there,
who was not allowed a run after that streak we talked about in the postseason, 21 in the 3rd innings.
I think, you know, notice to the National League, you know, Matt Kane still thinks it's the 2010 postseason.
That's right.
The thing about it, that if you're an opposing player on another team, that's the guy that's the 3rd starter. I mean, we haven't even got to 4 and 5 for the Giants. That's Zito and Bumgarner. I mean, the key isn't going to be for them their effectiveness. It's going to be, are they going to be as durable as they were last year?
One and one on Rowan, who has 2 hits, scored a run back in the 5th inning. Matt Kane and injured closer Brian Wilson. So starting with the postseason, Kane has now gone 27 1/3 innings without allowing a run. Giants chase Dodgers starter Ted Lilly after 4 2/3. Lilly allowing 4 runs on 6 hits. Then the Giants scored 4 on Jansen in the 6th. Rowan down on strikes. Time now for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge Spotlight. And we take a look back at the tremendous career of the late Duke Snider, who passed away in February. The franchise's all-time leader in home runs with 389, 16 seasons with the Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodgers, a two-time world champion, an 8-time All-Star, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1980. You too can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. And you may have noticed the Dodger players wearing a memorial patch featuring Snider's uniform number 4. And they will wear that home and road throughout this 2011 season.
Now, how about the center fielders in New York? You know, in the early 50s, you had Mantle, the Yankees, Mays with the Giants, Snider as well. And really, Duke Snider in 55 should have won the National League MVP. Went to teammate Roy Campanella. Those numbers he put up, just dominant.
Mike Fontenot at the plate, pinch hitting for Matt Cain. And you mentioned the great center fielders. The Terry Cashman song, Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. This is Fontenot's second at bat this season. 3-1. Bounce back to the box. Cormier throws out Fontenot, and that will do it for the Giants in the 7th. Terrific day for Matt Cain. 7th inning stretch time, 8-0 Giants. Is sponsored by Just for Men Hair Color. Live Forward. By Chrysler, imported from Detroit. And by One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. Bottom of the 7th inning in Los Angeles with the San Francisco Giants leading the Dodgers 8-0. Matt Cain, 6 shutout innings in his first start this season. There's Fernando Valenzuela in the middle. In the Dodgers Spanish radio booth on the left, Eric, the Hall of Fame broadcaster Jaime Jarrín, now in his 53rd season broadcasting Dodgers baseball.
Yeah, one of the classiest guys in the game, and not missing a beat. I love coming to the ballpark and seeing him. Very respectful. does as good a job as anybody the game has ever seen.
Vince Scully, who worked the Dodgers telecast last night, another Hall of Famer, now in his 62nd year. And he is on the cover of the 2011 Dodgers Media Guide.
Well, that's what I mean, when you think of the Los Angeles, when you think of any organization, you usually think of a player or somebody in uniform. But the reality is, when you think of the Los Angeles Dodgers, two names come to mind: Vince Scully and Tommy Lasorda.
So great to see Vince Scully last night and Jaime Jarrín today. You had a look at the new battery, Javier Lopez and Eli Whiteside. The Giants starter, Matt Cain, is standing by live downstairs with Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, Matt. I'm not sure if you know, but you did have a 5-month layoff. I mean, it looked exactly the same as when we left you last October out there.
No, I mean, I just went out there and was trying to throw good strikes, get these guys off balance a little bit, and it worked out well, and the guys put up some runs for me to get me relaxed.
This really was Giants baseball. Defensively, you made all the plays, and you guys had rallies going, all those runs without a home run.
Yeah, and that's the way we like to play baseball. We're not afraid to try to just get some little things done and hope for the big hit sooner or later.
Finally, we know that Brian Wilson's got fear of the beard, but please help me with your fellow starter. What are we calling that thing over Zito's lip?
It's the stash.
We sure?
It's just the stash. We don't have a name for it yet.
Okay, work on it. Great job out there, buddy. Kenny, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Chris, and thanks to Matt Cain. There is the beard. And Matt letting Chris know that it is just a stash on tomorrow's starter, Barry Zito. So Javier Lopez facing James Loney. Bloop into foul territory.
I mean, Matt Cain's got to say what he said. You've got to be humble, and you've got to, but now being on the other side, on the media side, I just love for him to, somebody just say, you know what, Chris, dude, I dominated. Absolutely blew people away, did the same thing in the postseason. Because he did. There weren't balls that were hit square out. That's Matt Kemp, hit the ball hard one time. But Matt Cain absolutely controlled the game on the mound today.
Grounded to the right side. Sanchez, nice play. And he throws out Loney for out number one. So our thanks to Matt Cain for joining Chris Rose a moment ago. And congratulations to Brian Wilson, who earlier this week fulfilled a lifetime dream. He was part of a clue in the New York Times crossword puzzle on Thursday. The clue was Giants hurler, parentheses 2010 champs, / Beach Boys vocalist on Help Me Rhonda, number one in 1965. Not sure if Brian was happy that he had to share the clue. But 30 down on Thursday, New York Times crossword puzzle, Brian Wilson. And he's been doing the Times crossword since he was 12 years old.
I mean, what else is there now? I mean, he's done everything. Won a World Series, New York Times crossword.
We'll see what's next. That is the first Major League base hit for Hector Jimenez. Single into left center. As the Dodgers will ask for the baseball. And it will probably wind up in the shoebox in Hector's closet one day.
Right. There you go.
Think Hector saw that?
I think Hector's looking and he's eyeing it. Shoot for, not being in a big league game for a number of years and the road he's had to endure. That thing might be on a mantle at least for a little while. Get the shoebox treatment a little later.
So with Jimenez on at first, Xavier Paul takes a called strike, 0-1. We mentioned earlier Jimenez had not played in the major league since 2006. 2 games with Houston. Spent last year in Double-A in the Pirates system. His first major league base hit today. There's the ball in the Dodger dugout. Third base coach Tim Wallace. Wallach into the dugout, and then the fake toss into the stands.
McCall had that ready.
Tim Wallach coaching third base for the Dodgers this year. We mentioned earlier Davey Lopes, the first base coach, not here today due to a death in the family. So Dave Hansen coaching first for the Dodgers. And a 1-2 to Paul, missing low and away from Javier Lopez. Now 2-2. Paul down on strikes. 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, it is not too late to play fantasy baseball at foxsports.com/fantasy. As always, Fox Fantasy Baseball is 100% free. Expert advice, draft kits, free live scoring, and much more. Play today at foxsports.com/fantasy. If you had Matt Cain in your fantasy pool, it's been a good day. 6 shutout innings for the Giants starter, allowed 5 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Jamie Carroll singled his last time up. Carroll 1 for 2. Jimenez, the runner on first after picking up his first big league base hit. Carroll fouls it off to the right side, 1-1.
Nice grab by the fan right there. Held the beer in one hand and caught it with the left hand. Give it to his little guy. Look at this grab.
You talk about fundamentals.
That's one hand. Well, fundamentally, it's not that good. It was just a one hand. It's, it's supposed to be 2 hands, right? Execution, though, outstanding.
2 hands on the field, 1 hand off.
All right.
We've seen a number of good plays in the stands today.
Look at that. Giant fan. No glove. Grabbing it. Brian Wilson, fan out there, grabbing it.
Our colleagues in the truck don't miss a thing. Long run for the right fielder Huff. Unable to make the catch. Jimenez to third. Jamie Carroll with his second hit.
Aubrey Huff playing the game hard no matter what the score is. Lays out. Short hops it there. Gets it in. Getting up a little gingerly, though. Got a little mouthful of turf right there. Chin seemed like it hit the ground. And you see him. Boom. Ooh. That doesn't feel good. Nothing like doing that the third game of the season when you're up 8-0.
He doesn't care what the score is.
Yeah. That's the warrior type. Bottom line is you want Aubrey Huff out there for 162 games.
So first and third with 2 outs. Tony Gwynn Jr. batting for the first time today. Mentioned earlier he started the first game in left field. Marcus Thames started in left last night. Xavier Paul today. So 3 starting left fielders in 3 games for the Dodgers.
Well, that is going to be a question mark this year for this ball club. Jay Gibbons right now on the disabled list, having some trouble with his eyes and contacts. So they had hoped that he would be a guy with Marcus Thames to possibly platoon. But just haven't had a lot of production out of that spot outside of that couple month period. Manny Ramirez.
Manny, of course, now in Tampa. Former Tampa Bay Ray, Aubrey Huff. One-two to Gwynn. Huff on the run again. Dives again.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And this time makes the catch.
I love it. I know he's running in his second thought thinking, do I got to do this again? Do I have to do this again? You know what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to catch the ball, even though we're up 8-0.
Bangs his face again. Eight 0 Giants as we move to the top of the 8th inning. Miguel Tejada facing Lance Cormier. There's Aubrey Huff after his second faceplant of the inning as he made the diving catch to rob Gwynn of a base hit. Tejada rounds out to the second baseman to Jesus for out number one. Aubrey probably thinking, did I have to move from first base to the outfield?
I give it to him, though. After that first one, I don't know how eager a lot of guys would have been to go after that second ball, but showed no hesitation, laid out. And you get to tell stories about it now.
There's Freddie Sanchez, 2 hits, 2 RBIs today. The Huff had a great quote. He was asked about the euphoria following the World Series title last season. He spent so many years in Tampa Bay on losing ball clubs, Baltimore. As Sanchez drives this one to deep left field. Paul looks up. It is out of here. Home run number 1 of the season for Freddie Sanchez. The Giants now lead 9-0.
I knew it was too good to be true. The Giants score all these runs without a home run. Of all people, Freddie Sanchez gets a hold of one and drives it to left. Well, remember, he's a guy that wasn't with the ball club at the beginning of the year last year. Started on the disabled list and then took him a while to get going again. Another guy the Giants will have all year long.
He hit 7 home runs last year. This is Nate Schierholtz pinch hitting for Aubrey Huff, and he grounds out on the first pitch to the second baseman to Jesus.
He just jumps on a fastball up.
Pitcher number 22, Eli Whiteside.
He knows he got it right when he hit it.
So with 2 away, here's Eli Whiteside batting for the first time this season. Sanchez taking Cormier deep. His first home run of the year. Getting back to that Huff quote for a second. After last season, he said, it's weird. I never had fans before in Tampa Bay or Baltimore. Fans were always cheering for the other teams.
Right. I'll tell you, San Francisco, that place was electric in the postseason. And you know, I think it was an absolute advantage playing in San Francisco as opposed to when they were playing in Texas or even Philadelphia. I mean, that San Francisco place, it was intense.
Whiteside, left field. This will stay in the ballpark. Paul makes the catch, retiring the Giants in the 8th, but they add to their lead. Sanchez goes deep, 9-0 San Francisco. Sponsored by Lexus. Escape convention in the radically new Lexus CT Hybrid. And by the U.S. Postal Service. Welcome back to Fox Saturday Baseball, year 16 from Dodger Stadium. Giants leading the Dodgers 9-0 in the third of this 4-game season opening series. There's Nate Shearholtz, who remains the game in right field. And the new pitcher for the Giants, their third of the afternoon, is 29-year-old right-hander Ramon Ramirez, facing top of the order. Aaron Miles on the first pitch, flies out to Rowand in left, and Miles is now 0 for 4. Time for another DirecTV game break. Take it away, Chris Rose.
All right, guys, in Gotham City. Mark Teixeira, 2 homers last year in the first month of the season. How about 2 in his first 2 games? Then Russell Martin, the former Dodger, going deep for the first time in pinstripes. And then A-Rod, number 614 of his career. Yankees all over the Tigers in the 7th, 10-3. Remember to get every baseball game, most of it in HD. It's 1-800-DirecTV. Guys?
All right, Chris, baseball is flying out in the Bronx. Teixeira, Russell Martin, A-Rod for Alex Rodriguez. Career home run number 614. De Jesus 0 for 3 today, still looking for his first major league hit. A-Rod number 1 among active players.
Jim Thome probably get the 600 this year. That's a guy just keeps going and going. You know, hitting the home runs, but on base percentage of over 400. Had a great year last year with the Twins.
Called off to the right side, now 2-2.
See, Ramon Ramirez, I remember last year at the trading deadline, he and Javi Lopez were the two acquisitions that the Giants made. And I remember a lot of people saying, they would have liked to have seen a bigger splash. But these two acquisitions by Ryan Sabian turned out to really solidify that bullpen. And they allowed Brian Wilson to have opportunities to come shut down games.
Terrific acquisitions, and that Giants bullpen last season earned run average of 2.99, second in the National League. Giants were first in save percentage. Wilson leading the league with 48. Shearholtz makes the catch in right. Jesus now 0 for 4. Well, this May, Fox Sports will bring you some of baseball's best teams and the sport's biggest stars in a special 3-week primetime event you won't want to miss. Fox Saturday Baseball in prime time begins May 14th in high definition. Good day for the Giants, leading the Dodgers 9-0. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Here's Andre Ethier. First pitch, base hit into center field. Ethier with 3 hits today. 3 of the Dodgers' 8 base hits in the game. And now Cormier
Pitcher, number 37, Lance Cormier.
will bat for himself. Cormier hitting in the number 4 spot. Two outs, bottom of the 8th inning, 9-0 San Francisco. Giants, Eric, last season made their first appearance on Fox Saturday Baseball right here at Dodger Stadium. April 17th, 2010. Giants won that game 9-0.
Yeah, I think Tim Lincecum threw that game. Had some great at-bats. Threw extremely well, as is the norm. There he is right there. The hoodie and the glasses on the hat. Attacking somebody with sunflower seeds.
The 2-2 from Ramirez. Cormier gets a piece of it.
Cormier getting some hacks up there. Doesn't get a lot of at-bats as a relief guy, and spending some time in the other league.
On the ground to the third baseman, DeRosa. So Cormier grounds out, and we head to the 9th in Los Angeles. from their first victory of 2011. 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Giants. No runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. New left fielder for Los Angeles is Marcus Timms. Xavier Paul moves from left field over to right. Andres Torres will bat for the first time. 2 for 9 over the first 2 games of this series after his breakout season last year.
And what a pleasant surprise for the Giants last year. Remember, Aaron Rowan was patrolling center field and started off extremely well, was hit in the face by a Vicente Padilla pitch. Torres got an opportunity and literally ran with it. You know, and I think, too, one of the things he provided this ball club was, you know, some energy, some speed at the top of the lineup. He has some power. Go get the ball. It really fit in nicely.
You had to look at his numbers. 16 home runs, drove in 63 runs for the world champs last season. Originally drafted by the Tigers back in '98. It's his 14th year in professional baseball. Giants with a run in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, and then 4 in the 6th. As Torres rips this one into the right field corner. Extra bases for Andres Torres, who leads off the 9th inning with a stand-up double off Lance Cormier. Well, of the last 7 World Series champions, Eric, 5 of them ended lengthy title droughts on Fox. You saw the Red Sox in 04, White Sox in 05, the 06 Cards, the 08 Phillies, and of course the 2010 Giants, their first championship since 1954. Who will it be this season?
Well, does that mean the Cubs?
Perhaps. Who have not won a title since 1908. Could it be the Indians? Haven't won since 48.
No.
Rangers and Astros have never won.
Rangers have a shot. Was I going out on a limb saying no to the Indians?
Did you say no to the Cubs?
I did not say no to the Cubs. That Central Division, there's a number of teams you could make a case for.
Well, the Giants do not want to hear this, but a National League team has not won back-to-back championships since the Reds, Big Red Machine, back in the 75 and 76.
Well, I said it earlier. I think that this Giant team right now is better than last year's team. I don't know if they accomplished what they did because a lot of things have to go right. You have to get all those sorts of things that you can't control.
Plus, you become a target. Every other team is gunning for you.
Yep.
Brandon Belt draws yet another walk.
Another walk, 5 pitches, and this is a 9-0 game. As a young player, sometimes you come up, you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to try and jerk one here, get a hold of something. He's approached every at-bat today like it was the last at-bat he was ever going to have in the big leagues. And that's something that you learn over the course of your career.
5 plate appearances today, 28 pitches. Belt struck out, fly to center. Walk, reach on an error, and has walked again. That is A.J. Ellis, the third-string catcher, up and throwing in the Dodgers pen. Mark DeRosa with 2 hits today, drove in a run back in the 6th inning. Cormier calls out Jimenez. 2 on, nobody out. Here at the top of the 9th inning. Gets away from Jimenez. Both runners will advance. There's Pablo Sandoval with a bat. He is the only remaining position player the Giants have not used today.
Well, and you get him in there, Bruce Bochy, just get him an at-bat. Going to be out there tomorrow. Let him see some pitches.
To Jesus, to first. Torres scores. Giants now lead 10-0. Mark DeRosa drives in his 2nd run. Giants now with 10 runs on 13 hits. Here's Aaron Rowan, who has 2 hits today. Also reached 2nd on that balk that we've been talking about back in the 5th inning. The score was only 1-0 at the time when Dodgers starter Ted Lilly committed the balk. Helped lead to a 3-run 5th.
Right, really a game changer, because if Rowan is out there, Lilly ends up striking out Matt Cain. That's the end of the inning. But because he was given second base on the balk, Giants proceeded to get 3 2-out base hits. Really open up this ball game.
There's Pablo Sandoval, who has come out into the on-deck circle, with the pitcher Ramirez due up next. Rowan down on strikes for the 2nd time. As Sandoval steps to the plate, Chris Rose, I know you've been following the plight of the Kung Fu Panda throughout the offseason.
Yeah, Kenny, we've been following his LBs more than anything else. This is the way he looked last year. And listen, they basically threatened him and said, if you don't come into camp in shape, you're going to be looking at AAA Fresno. So he took his dieting very seriously, exercised a ton. Everybody except the marketing department figured that out. That's like a hangover. Look at that. That's over the belt buckle. That doesn't look anything like him now. Look at the new slim trim Pablo. Down 41 pounds, he has told me. Says he just feels a lot better out there in the field. His agility's better, and we'll see whether or not it makes a difference in the batter's box. Remember, in 2009, he burst onto the scene hitting .330. Kenny?
So Pablo not very happy with that bobblehead doll.
Well, I think it shows a maturation on his end. At least have the discipline and come back in shape.
The throw from Miles beats Sandoval. We head to the bottom of the 9th with the Giants leading by 10. Baseball presented by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Well, the San Francisco Giants leading the Dodgers 10-0. Matt Cain, the Giants starter. 6 scoreless innings. There's pitching coach Dave Righetti, who's done such a terrific job with this staff. One-time teammate of Dodgers manager Don Mattingly with the New York Yankees. In fact, when Righetti pitched his no-hitter against the Red Sox back on July 4th, '83, Mattingly was his first baseman that day.
Well, not doing his old teammate any favors today,
Nope.
running that staff out there. Jeremy Affeldt getting the call right now.
Affeldt in his 10th Major League season. On the first pitch, James Loney grounds out to Sandoval, who has remained in the game at third base for the Giants. Well, Fox, tonight, you can try to run from the cops, but you can't hide from Mom. Cops, part of a full hour. Then a madman on a shooting rampage disappears from the crime scene without a trace. You can help solve this cold case on an all-new America's Most Wanted. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox. One away, here's Hector Jimenez. 1 for 3 today. Back in the 7th inning. Picked up his first Major League hit off Javier Lopez. Fastball missing inside. Great job by our entire crew, led by producer Jeff Gowen, director Jim Lynch, our associate director today, Eric Billigmeyer, associate producer Andy Cavanaugh, technical producer Dan Rattante, technical director Simon Benazra, and our pregame show produced by Don Bowie. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Jeremy Affeldt, the 4th Giants pitcher today. A.J. Ellis, who we saw throwing in the Dodgers bullpen, has come out into the on-deck circle.
Doing it all, huh? Warm up down there, and then you got to sprint down the side to get here on deck.
So here comes Ellis. Dodgers down to their final out.
Well, if anything, I think this Giant ball club today, this is representative of what we're going to see this year. You know, the first 2 games, just, you know, that's not going to be the Giants at all this year. You know, they say they lost 2. They definitely lost yesterday's ball game. They're giving away some runs. This pitching staff, I mean, they're just running arm after arm after arm, and it's not like any of that starting staff, you know, was like a fluke year for any one of those guys last year. Everybody talks about that Philly staff and how vaunted they are. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have a problem taking the San Francisco staff any day of the week.
Not at all. Matt Cain, 6 shutout innings. He allowed 5 hits, struck out 3. Barry Zito against Hiroki Kuroda tomorrow night. On one hop off the glove of the second baseman Sanchez, so Ellis is on at first.
Felt good for A.J. right there, and I say that, you know, he doesn't get the start today. He's a catcher. Jimenez does, and you know, then he's down there warming up in the bullpen. He's going to have to come in and pick up the club. And the next thing you know, he's on deck, and he hits a rocket. Has to hustle like heck down to first. Sanchez almost made a great play.
So with Ellis on at first, here's Jamie Carroll, who has 2 hits today. Fastball missing inside at the knees. 1-0. Affeldt catching the outside corner. In the history of this ballpark, the worst shutout loss the Dodgers have suffered to the Giants, 12-0 back in April of 2002. This 10-0 score would match the second worst Dodger home shutout loss here to the Giants as Carroll flies out to the right fielder, Scherholtz, and that will do it. San Francisco, coming off a World Series title last season, wins their first game of 2011 after the Dodgers took the first 2 games of this series. First loss for Don Mattingly as Dodgers manager. Kane, the winner. Lilly takes the loss. Giants win it 10-0. We'll return to Dodger Stadium right after these messages from your local station.